This is Ashley.
And Cindy.
And this is Life for Dummies.
Because we're real dumb.
Yeah, girl. What are we talking about today?
I think today we should talk about I am good enough.
You are. Wow. I am too. Okay, let's get started.
You absolutely are.
Aw, thanks, girl.
So for a long time, no matter what I did, it wasn't good enough. No matter who I was, it wasn't good enough. I had this thought in my mind that I'm not good enough and I'm never going to amount to anything and I'm never going to accomplish anything.
That sounds horrible.
It was horrible. It was terrible. I just held myself to these unrealistic expectations, you know?
Why? When was this?
This was pretty much throughout my life. Till I started on this new track, this new way of life where I changed my perspective to change my life. And until then, I just always had this thought that I'm just not good enough. I'm just not doing it. It just doesn't cut the cake.
I hear you. It was like for me, I had to look a certain way in order to be good enough. And I had to feel a certain way about myself in order to be good enough, which is a catch-22. Right? And then I had to have a certain amount of friends to be good enough, a certain amount of followers on my MySpace account back then. Okay, let's just, that's where I just went. Okay. And then I had to just, be good enough at my career and in order for me to feel good enough. And it's like, who was holding the bar?
Yeah, we're setting this bar so high at this level where it's just not attainable. It's just unattainable because it's just so unrealistic, those expectations we hold of ourselves. And it's like a self-imposed prison, like we talk about. I was holding myself in this place, and no matter what I did, no matter what the number on the scale said, no matter what the label on the clothes said, no matter how much money was in the bank, no matter whatever it was never good enough. So in turn, I wasn't good enough.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is that I have come to learn that nobody else was expecting me to be any of those things. That they either liked me for me or they didn't. And I have learned that not everybody's going to like me, and that's okay, right? There's enough flavors out there, and there's enough people out there. You'll find your fish in the sea. And then the other thing, too, is that it was like a make-believe expectation. It was like, why did I think that bar was exactly the rate of perfection, right? Like, because my rate of perfection probably differed greatly from yours. It's like it was totally just made up in my mind. And at the end of the day, I realized that it was my mind just trying to self-sabotage and make me feel bad about myself.
That's exactly what it is. It's this mind trick, it's, what is that? The Jedi mind trick, like
insidious disease, man.
And we have these thoughts and we have these feelings and we have, it's just, and the thing is that when Ashley and I have talked about this personally, like we both identify with that thought and that feeling. So we know we're not alone here on this, right? There's a lot of us that feel like we're just not enough. And I'm here to tell you that your higher power does not make junk.
Also, you are enough. I mean, 100% the way that you are right now. You are enough.
Exactly. If you can go to sleep at night and put your head down on the pillow and you're comfortable with who you are and what you've done all day, then that's enough for me. Like, I'm okay with that. And that's all that I need today. If I can go to sleep at night and not replay the day, I should have done this, I coulda, shoulda, woulda, things should have been different. If I don't play that game with myself, then it's a win for me.
Yeah, and I know that not everybody listening identifies as an addict. For me, I was a high-functioning addict, and so that means I was able to accomplish things while I was using drugs. Okay, let's just be real, and accomplish a lot of things. And so therefore, I am very well acquainted with what we're talking about today. And the solution, my solution at this moment, which provides me peace and joy in life, is actually not setting a bar of expectation. It is not expecting myself to do anything. Okay? That's where I find most peace and gratitude. And if I'm real honest with myself, I am far more productive and healthy in life today with that attitude than I was back then.
Oh, absolutely. So before my life became unmanageable, I was also functioning. I had a good job. I went to work every day. But after work, forget it. All bets were off. I'm going to do what I do. But for a long time, I functioned well, and I had this idea of what it should be like. What would make me enough? What would be, if this just happened, then that would solve all my problems, right? And it never happened because I just kept raising the bar. I would get to something and be like, yeah, that's still not good enough. And I just have to learn to once again to be kind to myself and keep that, like, the expectations. Yeah, there's none today. Literally, the only expectation I have is don't harm yourself today. That's it. And then if I can do that, that's a win.
And when we say that we have zero expectations for ourselves, we're not saying that we're like the laziest pieces of you know what on the planet. Like, that's not what we're getting at here. What we're getting at is we no longer give ourselves a hard time.
Mm.
Like, why? Why do we give ourselves a hard time? Life is tough enough. You got the kids or the dogs or the husband, the wives, like the work, the getting to and fro, the inflation or whatever the heck is going on, with money today and housing prices and the news and all. What? Like, life is already totally nuts. So, like, why are you adding to the drama? Like, give yourself a break, man. You deserve it.
Absolutely. Be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up about stuff that you literally have no control over. None. So, you know what? The best thing for me to do is be kind to myself. Go easy on myself. Keep the bar real low. Like I do. I have a list of things that I would like to get done every day, right? This is how I maintain this peace and serenity that I have in my life today. I make my list every morning when I get up. The most important thing that needs to get done goes at the top. And then it goes down. And whatever I don't get done today, I still have tomorrow to do it. But as long as I get like the first 3 things done, I'm good. Like that is all the pressure I put on myself today. There's no pressure to be perfect. There's no pressure that I have to do a million things and be super productive. No, that when I put all that pressure on myself, the last thing I'm doing is being productive. I'm like backing myself into a corner, like, and I'm stuffed with fear. And when that happens, nothing's getting done.
It's so interesting that that's your philosophy, because there's somebody that I know, a friend acquaintance of mine. He's got like an 8-figure business, and that's his philosophy too. Like, he just goes to sleep every night and is like, all right, what do I got to do today? What's the most important thing? Let's put it at the top. And then he like gets that out of the way. It's like, all right, smooth sailing from there. Like, I in my readings about productivity when I used to manage like teams in the corporate world, I learned that the less you require on a day-to-day basis, the more will get done. Because people, like, they can't multitask. We've talked about this, right? Like, they can't take on too many things without getting overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you just have one thing that you focus on, just one thing, it's a great book, you should read it, then you are going to be very successful if you just consistently stick to that one thing.
I love that, because the thing is, like, what is success? And like being successful is defined differently by everyone, right? Like everyone has a different idea of what being successful is. And for me, being successful is I just want to be happy. I want some peace. I want some serenity. I want some calmness. I don't want the intrusive thoughts to take over, and I want to remain in a state of gratitude. That's a successful day for me.
Me too. But it's that simple, right? I mean, like, money comes, family, relationships, all of that comes as long as on the inside I'm okay with myself. The rest will come. It's like you build it and it'll come.
Exactly. You build it, they will come, and it's true. As long as I feel good about myself and I am okay with who I am today, all the rest falls into place. And that's been my experience thus far. As long as I'm okay with me, the rest of it's all going to work out.
You got this.
No, you got this.